My name is, and I am the coordinator for the English rooms at the Toastmasters Leadership Institute. After-work sessions are sessions designed by the district to help bridge the knowledge gap within the leadership cadre of Toastmasters, as well as even membership, to be able to have quality meetings and promote the Toastmasters excellence. Today is one of those days where you're going to learn the ethics and the best practices of putting together an online meeting. But before I introduce our moderator, please join me in welcoming the Division Director, Division G, to give us her opening remark. Join me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmaster Mary Henry Aponika. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muhammad Ikrama, and good evening, dear leaders. Please confirm that I'm audible.
You are audible,
Hello?
madam.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. And I'm delighted to welcome each and every one of you to our after-work session. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. Today is Monday, and I know that most of us would have had a very long day, but you still made time to be here this evening. It shows that you're committed to your growth and to improving our connection together as Toastmasters. This evening, we're going to be discussing something very important, which is online meetings, how we can make our online meetings memorable and full of quality experience. And the truth is that we all know online meetings have become a big part of our lives, either at our workplaces, even family meetings these days, with family members in different locations, and particularly as Toastmasters. We have been having online meetings. And so technology has come to stay and become a part of our lives, and it has helped us to bridge the gap. In this room, we have Toastmasters from all over the districts joining in. And so I want to thank everyone for being here. And I want to say that before we proceed, please go to all your WhatsApp groups and invite everyone. Remind our members that it's time and the meeting has started. This evening, we have a trainer in our midst, an experienced Toastmaster at that. And she will be reminding us of the essential qualities and attitudes that we need to put in to give our meetings the touch, the color, and the brightness that we require. So I want to welcome you all. Please relax, have fun, learn, participate, and ask questions so that at the end of the day, together, we would take away the tips and the attitudes that we need to make all our online meetings memorable. And so I thank you. Please enjoy the session. I now hand control over to Toastmaster Muhammad Ikrama. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those wonderful and inspiring words, Madam Division Director, Division G. And now, I am not the one that's going to be steering us through today's training. We have an incredible personality that's going to be able to do that, who is going to be our moderator for today. Our moderator is from Katsina City Toastmasters Club. Katsina City is a club within Division G, District 130. Please join me as I welcome the Vice President, Katsina City Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Umar Kutawa. to lead us through today's training. Toastmaster Omar, over to you. Is he still in the room? Seems he is having a bit of a network challenge. Okay, before he joins, I'm going to swiftly take us through the introduction of our trainer today while we wait for the arrival of our moderator, so we don't waste too much time waiting for him. Our trainer for today is an accountant. She's a finance professional and a risk manager with over 25 years of experience in Nigeria's financial sector. She has a passion for continuous learning, reading, and exploring diverse fields. Toastmaster Iranade joined Toastmasters to enhance her public speaking, prepare for leadership roles, and connect with interesting people. She has held several leadership positions, including serving as a 3-time Vice President Education, Club President, and Area 13 Program Quality Director. She is currently the Area Director of Area 28 Division G. So please join me as I welcome our trainer for today's training to take us on the theme, online meetings, essential attitudes for a quality experience. Join me in welcoming Toastmaster Iranade Akimbolaji.
Thank you very much, our dear moderator. Good evening, everyone. We have 16 people in the room right now, and I know we're going to have an excellent time of learning. Good thing is that the meeting is being recorded, so after this, I'm sure the organizers will share the recording so that we can, even those of us that are not here, will be able to benefit from this presentation. So this evening, we're going to talk about online meetings. Online meetings. Now, back in 2020, when I just joined Toastmasters, online meetings came in from what I gathered, because I joined Toastmasters in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic. And then we had our meetings online. And even then, we understood it was just a stopgap for when COVID would be over and we would move back to physical meetings. However, it has become obvious that online meetings are here to stay. So online meetings are not just like a plan B that you put in place because you can't have a physical meeting. It's an entire genre on its own. And it is something that we need to be very familiar with so that we know how to coordinate the meetings, comport ourselves during the meetings, and end up having a good time. I have a few slides that I'm going to share with us. And I'm going to share my screen. One moment. So please, I'll need you to let me know when my screen becomes visible.
Okay, I can't see it yet.
Let me try sharing it from here. Okay, it should be visible at this point. Can
Coming
we
up.
see it now?
Yes, it's up now.
Awesome. So the topic is online meetings, the essential attitude for a quality experience. So from that, you can see that basically we're going to be talking about the attitude that you have to put in place in order for you to have a perfect online meeting. So let's talk about a few pet peeves, a few of those challenges you have when you're having or coordinating an online meeting. Without appearing to point fingers, cameras off. We have that a lot of times, even for I understand that there are times when the network is so bad that you have to turn off your camera in order for the network to become a bit more stable. But if you're the one speaking, cameras off might not give a very good experience. Poor audio, multitasking, and by multitasking, I mean you're attending the meeting, but you're doing like 5 things at the same time. These are some of the challenges, what you see in online meetings. Low energy. Can we relate? Late starts. Now, let's do a quick exercise. I want you to go to the chat box now and type your own pet peeve. What are those challenges that you have personally seen during online meetings? I'm looking at the chat right now. Late start, yes. I can see that from just Masai Krama. Multitasking, yeah, you're doing like 1 million and more. Lack of participation, yeah. So you're just there, and if you're the ghost mode, yeah, you see the ghost in the middle of that graphic I have there on the screen. Yeah, ghost mode. All right, we've seen quite a few there. You can keep typing in your pet peeves, but because we have limited time, we're going to move on. So sometimes what we call Zoom fatigue is simply low presence. You're in the meeting, but you're actually not in the meeting. These are some of the challenges that we've seen with online meetings. But why does it matter? And when I talk about this, I'm bringing it into the space of Toastmasters, even though online meetings have become a reality for us across everything we do. I'm just bringing it into the space of Toastmasters. Why does it matter? Because it shapes the experience of our guests, it influences member engagement, it reflects the club quality, it builds our leadership brand. And when we have meetings, online meetings, we are not just on that meeting, we are actually representing our clubs in the meeting. So they require clear expectations, advanced notice, structured engagement if you want to keep the attention high. And then club officers are there to set the tone when it comes to Toastmasters meeting, communicate, guide members through the expectations of our online meetings. I'm going to take us through what I will call here the attitude framework. Remember, we're talking about the attitude that would enable us to have perfect online meetings. And A there stands for awareness. We're going to have a number of slides talking about each of these. T stands for time stewardship. T for tech care. I for intentional presence. T, talk that builds. U, understanding others. D, digital body language. And E for engagement. Let's quickly go through each of those. So let's talk about awareness. And with that, I'm talking about setting up your digital space, your digital room. Because when you're if you're attending a physical meeting, there's an actual venue, there's a room, you walk into that room, you have the lectern. In an online meeting, we also have a room, a digital space, a digital environment, which we need to set up well. First of all, you must have good front-facing lighting. Now, you need to see the setup I have here. I actually have, because I'm in a hotel right now. I'm out on official assignment outside my base. I'm in a hotel. I don't have control over the lighting, but because I knew I was going to make a presentation, I I have three sources of lights right in front of me here, so that otherwise my face would have been very dark. So you need good front-facing lighting because people need to see you. You need a quiet, tidy background. You need to control your background. Now, when you're in an online meeting, if you're not very intentional about your background, you could unwittingly expose embarrassing stuff. Okay? Let me give you a story, an experience. There was one time I was attending a program, an online course, and there was this guy. A lot of people had their cameras off. When your camera is on, it brings you to the fore, right? So I think he was just one of three people that had their cameras on. It was a classroom. It was actually like an academic setting. He was feeling very comfortable, but guess what he wore? He was wearing a pair of boxer shorts and a singlet. His camera was on. He was right on my screen, right facing me. And then to make matters worse, he stood up at some point. He was walking with the phone, so I could see everything against my will. He walked into the kitchen, brought out Gary. It's true story. I'm not joking. I'm not even joking. So the point I'm trying to make is this. You have to be very intentional about your background. If you're in a meeting, you need to know. I've seen instances where ladies take pictures and post it on social media. And then at the back on the door, hanging over the door, you see someone's personal effects that shouldn't be out there. Why? Because there's no intentionality about the background. So please, you need to be very intentional. Camera at eye level. Sometimes, like if you're using your laptop, like I'm using my laptop right now, depending on the setting, the laptop might be too low. So if you're not careful, find yourself either looking up or looking down. So guess what I did for this particular setup? Because the table is too low, I actually used my bag to prop up my laptop so that it would be at eye level. You need to have a professional appearance. You need to minimize visual distractions, particularly around your background and around where you're seated. And then all the materials you need should be within reach because you don't want to stand up at some point trying to get, oh, I need, okay, no, that doesn't look good. Just organize yourself before you even get into the meeting space. Now let's go to T, time stewardship. That one is pretty clear. When you respect time, you respect the meeting, you respect your audience. Role players, there's a rule of thumb that role players should join between 10 to 15 minutes early. If you're going to play a role, if you're on time for a meeting, meaning the meeting is 10 o'clock and you're landing there by 10, you're actually late. If you're not playing a role, 3 to 5 minutes early is good enough. But anything less than 3 minutes becomes a challenge, right? And then for role players, you need to join at least 10 minutes early, preferably 10 to 15 minutes early. C, tech care. Your tech affects your credibility. So you need to check your audio, you need to check your microphone, you need to check your internet strength. Depending on the space where you are, you can use earphones to reduce echo, particularly if you have other people in that space who are also participating in that meeting. Because if not, you're going to have a lot of echo in the background. If you're if your laptop needs updates, please install the updates before the meeting. I've had a situation where you're in the middle of a meeting and your laptop tells you, I'm shutting down in 2 minutes. What do? You're the Toastmaster of the day. Keep your backup internet supply and all of that. Now, let's go to I, which is intentional presence. If you're here, be fully here. Anytime you can put on your camera, but there's a caveat. If you need to do something, for instance, assume I need to get up to do something, rather than get up and then everybody sees me, like I just get up like this, doesn't look good, I would turn off my camera first, like that, and then get up and do what I need to do. Okay? And then after that, I can come back and put my camera back on. That way, I don't cause distraction. Avoid multitasking. I've said that. Sit upright, don't slouch, dress appropriately for whatever the camera is going to see. So now let's go to the next. Don't forget we are talking attitude. Attitude. We are on the third T right now, which is talk that builds. And what do I mean by that? How do you talk? You need to be clear, especially knowing fully well that your audience is not sitting in front of you, so you don't have physical access to them. Slow down slightly, don't speak too fast. People might not understand you, and they might not be able to tell if it's your device or if it's the network. Use short, clear sentences. Call people by name when you want to address them. Encourage participation, and then pause before speaking because you might have internet delay. Now, for all of us, even when you don't have cause to be in an online meeting, every now and then practice speaking in front of an audience. And then when you're in a meeting, you can use the gallery view to watch the expressions. I can't do that right now because I'm obviously making a presentation, but you can use the gallery view to see the expression, and then you know if you're actually connecting with your audience. Let's go to you now, understanding others. And what do I mean here? Practice empathy and flexibility during online meetings. So be patient because sometimes, you can do everything you want. Let me tell you a story. There was one time I had a meeting and I had like 4 different networks. I had Smile, I had SpectraNet, I had MTN, I had 9Mobile. All of them failed. All of them failed. Eventually, I had to get my brother to hotspot his Airtel. And that was how I was able to get back into the meeting. So be patient when others experience connectivity issues. If you see somebody struggling with audio on screen sharing, you can offer support. Avoid interrupting, especially when you can't, the person is talking and you can't hear anything. Sometimes it could be due to the internet. Just give a few minutes to see if the person's network would catch up. Recognize that all members are in different environments, and let's just generally encourage a culture of kindness and psychological safety. B, digital body language. Your non-verbal cues still matter. So smile, you can lean in, use reactions, show attentiveness visually. And finally, engagement. When everybody engages, I note that one of the pet peeves somebody put in the chat was lack of engagement, lack of presence. Use the chat, be constructive, ask questions, encourage people who are not so verbal, so vocal to speak up, acknowledge contributions, keep the energy steady, keep the energy warm. Engagement is very important. So the tip I have there is define clear ground rules for participation at the beginning. For instance, there are certain meetings where, because of the number of people, you could just say, if you have anything to say, just pop in. But in some meetings, you could say, please raise your hands if you want to talk, or please use the chat box if you want to talk, or let's have an open discussion. So that clarity has to be there because that is how the meeting would be orderly and inclusive. So let's talk about 4 key mindsets for effective online conduct. Don't forget, we are talking attitude in this particular session. 4 mindsets. Number 1, preparation. I come ready. Can somebody say that after me? Say, I come ready.
I come ready.
I show up fully.
I show
I
up
show
fully.
up fully.
I communicate simply.
I
I
communicate
simply.
I value the shared space.
I
I
value
value shared space.
Thank you so much. So we've talked about 4 key mindsets, which are preparation, presence, clarity, and respect. That is how we keep the meeting flowing. The simpler the structure, usually, the better the flow of any meeting. So a reminder, let's bring it back to Toastmasters now. Club officers can enhance meeting flow by reviewing agendas early. And when we talk about agendas, I know every routine meeting of Toastmasters has an agenda. But it's not only routine meetings that we do. We do club officer meetings, we do other ad hoc meetings, which are online. Do you always make sure that the agenda is out early? Even if it is not a formal agenda, do people know what the conversation is going to be about? When you're calling for the meeting, do they understand what exactly they're there for or what the end game is? That is very important. The speaking team should be prepared. Give clear online guidelines at the start of meetings. So now, summary of tips that you follow to give you online meeting confidence. Make eye contact with the camera, right? When you make eye contact with the camera, you're making eye contact with the audience. Think about your background. We don't want to see your personal effects out and about for everyone to see because you forgot that you hung something funny in the background. And Toastmasters has made it easy. You can actually use one of, like the background I'm using right now, because like I said, I'm in a hotel and I didn't want all the whatever to show in the background. So I'm using the Toastmasters background. And I think even when it just makes the meeting look a bit more professional, a bit more formal. Use gestures, because even in online meetings, you can use gestures as you're speaking. But don't go too far out of frame and don't have your hands waving all over the place because that would distract your audience, especially if you have bad internet. You're flinging your hand and then it would just be like that. So that wouldn't be too good. Sit tall, stand tall if you must. Don't slouch. Mute your microphone when you're not speaking. And when it's your turn to speak, remember to unmute your microphone. Treat it like any other meeting. So dress well, speak well, behave as you would during any other meeting, and you'll be just fine. And now talking about taking it like any other meeting. There are times, let me give you an example or share an experience. Back during the COVID pandemic period, we had plenty of official meetings, formal meetings. Now, what I would always do, we met a lot on Zoom, on Teams, Microsoft Teams. Now, what I would always do, I wake up in the morning, even though I was working from home that period, I would get up, get dressed, wear my suits, make my hair, do my face, and sit in front of the laptop, getting ready for the meeting. And then on one particular day, my director said, you know what, everybody put on your cameras. Some people were caught unawares because, when you have your, I don't know, overnight face on and all of that. So treat it like any other meeting. You're coming for the meeting, show up, show out. And then use proper lighting. I've talked about that already. Test your technology. Make sure that your devices are working as they should, and then eliminate background noise as much as you can. Sit in a space that is quiet. silence your devices so that you don't have plenty of background disruption. Now, where can you find support for online meetings? Toastmasters is such a fantastic organization. It has given us so much. Practically every question you have about anything has already been envisaged and answered by Toastmasters. So we have resources. That QR code I have there, if you whip out your phone, well, you're probably using your phone, but if you have another device, you can scan that QR code. It will take you to the Toastmasters resource, the resource page for online meetings. Or you can just search, just do a Google search. So you have a guide to successful online meetings, which covers practical tips for preparation and all of that. There's this online meeting tips as well on that same page, which gives you a quick checklist. There's online meeting tips for club officers, which tells the club officers all those things they need to put in place. So go to toastmasters.org resources, online meetings. But beyond the website, there's club level support. Your Sergeant at Arms, for instance, can help you with your tech and room setup. Your VP education can help you with your agenda flow so that as you're joining the online meeting, you already know what exactly you're going to do and how the meeting should flow, particularly if you have a role to play. The club officers guide and let us know the best practices. Your mentor or your assigned coach can also help you. At the district as well, you have the division leadership teams, you have the area directors, you have the district training programs, officer training, webinars, and all that. Peer and self-help support is also there. Your friends, you can ask your fellow club members or other friends to help you when you're having tech challenges or you need more information about how to handle your online meetings. And then Zoom and Teams have free tutorials. I suspect that Google Meet would have tutorials as well, but I know that Zoom has, Teams has. There are clubs that are exclusively online. So even if your club is exclusively physical, you can attend exclusively online clubs to give you additional exposure. And then YouTube has tutorials on lighting, mic setup, and screen presence. So at this point, I have to say thank you. I see that I'm right on point because my timer is telling me I have 1 second to go. So thank you very much for having me. Over to you, our moderator.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Iranade, for that wonderful, wonderful presentation. Our moderator is certainly missing in action, and I have to be the impromptu moderator through the meeting. We are in the question and answer session. Anybody that has question can post in the chat box or kindly unmute yourself and ask Toastmaster Iranade specifically about questions. Before your questions come in, I have one for you. In a case of a fully online club where every member simply meets online, it's hard for them to have that physical connection. How can they use online meeting based practices to build that connection that makes the members feel like they are part of a community, not only interacting with the computer?
Thank you very much. Very interesting question. Because we are, most of us are of the generation where connection was physical, right? So when you're just sitting down and looking at yourself only through the screen, it might feel as if there's no connection. And some people might not feel the pulse. So I totally understand you. Now, I have attended certain clubs where they've put in certain measures that just makes you feel like you're part of a family. Let me give you an example. Toastmasters, reading of Toastmasters Promise. I've attended a club where everybody reads, takes turns to read. I felt this warm feeling inside of me when they're like, okay, so we are going to start, and then one person reads a line, another person takes it up, another one takes it up. That's an innovation, which I mean, based on my experience, I felt like I was part of a family, right? So there are little ways. Some of them have covered in one way or the other. Number one being showing respect and empathy for the person you're relating with, leaving your camera on. So even though I can't see you physically, I can see you virtually. Having a networking session before the meeting and after the meeting. Before the meeting, saying hello, asking, finding out, oh, Toastmaster Ikrama, how are you? How is the weather where you are? How was your week? How are you doing? How is your family? People do that, and there's that connection that's built. So that even though you are looking at yourself through the hard screen of your computer or your phone, you can still maintain that warmth. I mean, I'm sure there are other ways, but these are the ones that come off the top of my head that I can easily think of.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's an incredible response to that question. Anybody with any question? I am looking to see hands raised, and then probably questions in the chat box, because online meetings are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Even in the age of AI, we are still going to be having online meetings. So any question from anybody? All right, I can see Joy Ojakovo. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly to Toastmaster Ikrama. And I really appreciate our facilitator for going into such depth. There are some things that I usually would take for granted, but she has even brought it up in a way that it is a learning. Imagine something like your lightning. I take it for granted that everybody should know about lightning, but the way you have talked about it and brought the impact of how good lighting affects your presence at an online meeting is really very enlightening. Thank you very much. The clarification I would want to ask: developing relationships outside that online meeting, assuming you have that opportunity to meet, how do you communicate it to somebody that I want us to meet outside this our online environment physically, so that it won't seem as if you are unnecessarily forming a relationship that may not really be ethical? I don't know. So can you form a relationship outside that online environment? And how do you go about it without the person that you want to relate with feeling as if it is unethical to do it? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Absolutely on point question. How do you form a relationship outside you've only been interacting via an online medium, and now you want to have you want the relationship to go beyond that. So how do you express that without making it look inappropriate? Two things. It's just by asking. That's my own opinion. Just ask. I mean, if you're like maybe in a club, and then you've been having online meetings, you could ask, okay, how about if you have a hangout? How about if we've had so many online meetings? How about maybe for 6 months now we've been meeting online? How about if we have a hangout? And then you check the pulse of the people, right? That's number one. Just ask and be intentional about organizing it. But number two is also that you have to respect the boundaries of the people. The other person might actually feel a lot more comfortable behind the screen. And if that's the case, then so be it. There are people that for whatever reason, maybe security reasons, maybe the person is not even as comfortable. Maybe the person has certain insecurities. I feel like, if you see me in person, you might notice that, there's something, maybe I have plenty of pimples on my face and I don't want you to see me. You have to respect maybe that's the reason why the person even opted for an online club in the first place. So we have to respect the wishes of the people we are interacting with, but there's only one way to take the relationship outside the screen into real life, and that's by being intentional and deliberate about it, and just making the plan. Let the people you're relating with know. Let's have a hangout, and then you can take it from there. All right, thank you. Back to you, the moderator. I hope that
Thank
answers your
you.
question, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you very kindly. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iranade, for answering that question so astutely that I can't help but be in awe of the way you were answering it. Thank you. And at this juncture, I think if we don't have any other question, we're going to move on to the next session. Yes, someone in the chat box said, we appreciate you, Toastmaster Iranade. So any other question, anybody, you can raise your hand or we move on to the next session.
How do we get the recording or the slides, please, TME Kramer?
Okay, all recorded sessions are posted on the district's YouTube handle, the District 130 YouTube handle. So you can go there and see the record. Thank you so much. All right, and we will briskly move on to the next session, which is going to be our toast. Today, we are going to be receiving a toast from a special Toastmaster. Toastmaster Sintiki Zarma is a chartered accountant serving in the public sector with passion for sustainability and strategic growth. She holds a master's in business administration with a specialization in sustainability and applies her expertise to drive efficiency and responsible practices within her organization. Beyond her professional work, she is deeply committed to communication and public speaking as a tool to inspire, connect, and create meaningful impact. Toastmaster Sintiki believes in solutions that not only deliver results today, but also preserve and empower for the future. So please join me as I welcome Toastmaster Sintiki Daniel Zarma.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good evening,
To
distinguished
give us the toast.
Toastmasters,
Over to you.
fellow guests, and esteemed guests and fellow leaders. Good evening. So this is the point you're about to hear an amazing sound. Can we all hear that? So I want to see our cups filled at this point. Please, can I see your cameras on if that's not too much to ask? Because I want to be sure that everybody is going to partake in this wonderful moment. You can have your juice, your water, or wine like I have over here. Thank you very much. The beautiful thing about this evening is that as we gather for this after work hour, I invite you to pause. Just take a pause and join for a moment, because something special happens every time we meet as Toastmasters, whether in a boardroom, be it in a club hall, or a virtual screen like this one. You see, what makes it special is not just the agenda, nor the roles, Not even the speeches, remarkable as they are. But what makes it special is we showing up from different parts of the world, from different parts of the country, the subtle act of showing up. What is skill set to practice? At Toastmasters International, we say our mission is to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. But if you look closely, our meetings, our mentorship, our evaluations, our laughter, our shared stories, you will notice something deeper. We empower one another simply by being present. The willingness is what this hour honors. When each of us click, join the meeting, just like we did today, or some of you still in your work clothes like me over here, that takes a lot of courage and a lot of sacrifice. And so tonight, let's raise a toast to every member who finishes a long work day and still finds strength to join in after work hour. To every speaker who volunteers, not because they feel ready, but because they want to grow. To every leader who guides with humility and service. To our Francophone friends, to our Anglophone friends, to every guest who look or who took the brave step to show up here. What an amazing courage to grow in spite of all that is happening around you, be it in the economy or your personal lives. Not just as good communicators, but as good leaders. What an honor. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's raise our glasses to the simple act of showing up, to the simple act of saying, yes, the world deserves to hear my voice, and I have something great to offer, and the world will hear it. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
Cheers to everybody. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Okay. It looks like our moderator dropped off. Okay.
Yes,
Give me a
it
minute.
seems so. I think
Okay.
he's not on the call.
Okay, let me quickly check
Okay.
the next item. All right. So this time it is any info, any announcements? Okay.
Ikama is not there.
No, his network may have taken him out. So I don't know if
Grace,
you have any
Grace is
announcement.
there. No information, but we have the quiz. We have a quiz. Moment, please.
Okay. So can you take us through the quiz? That's the next item since there's no announcement. Edith, can you hear me? Technology. I think the network is not being friendly today. Please, let's give a minute to see if she's able to come up with the quiz. I don't have the details for the quiz. Distinguished Toastmaster Edith, are you with us?
Am I audible?
Okay, welcome back, Toastmaster
Oh,
Ikram.
thank you so much, Madam Didi. And apologies, my devices kicked me out. I was using two devices just to avoid this, but it still happened. This was what Toastmaster Iranade was talking about, and it so happened. So I am now the perfect example of what an ethical and a great online meeting should be like, and good preparation. Thank you so much for stepping in. And at this juncture, we are going to listen to the district information. District 130 has a powerful upcoming program. We all have experienced the district conference. We had the District 94 conference in Nigeria 2 years ago, and this year, or last year, and this year, the district conference took place in Niger, in Niamey, and then next year, in May 2026, we are going to have the district conference in Gabon. So please get your visas ready, get your passports ready. We are going to Gabon. So get yourselves ready to experience another country and another district conference. At this point, we have come to the end of today's after work sessions, and I'm going to be inviting the division director to give her closing remarks while we wrap up. So, Madam Didi, distinguished Toastmaster Mary, over to you.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ikrama. Like they say, Toastmasters, we wear many hats. So I want to thank you for stepping in very quickly to the role of the moderator. And you did an amazing job. So thank you very much. I want to also appreciate our trainer for this evening, Toastmaster Iranade Akinbolaji, my area director. Please, let's show her some love. I know that we've sent her some comments and feedback, but please let me see my screen buzzing with all the emojis. She did an excellent job. Well, I didn't expect anything less. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iranade. I am sure that each and every one of us here saw ourselves live in your training through your slides, and we have taken a lot from this training to apply as we move on in our Toastmasters journey and even outside of our Toastmasters journey. So on behalf of Division G and E, on behalf of District 130, the TLI team, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for preparing. and for delivering an excellent training. Indeed, it showed that we are valuable people because we could see the level of effort and sacrifice you made just to deliver us quality content. And so we say thank you. And to the TLI team, I want to say thank you for doing an amazing job putting the after work session together for today. Thank you so much. And to all our participants and role players, Toastmaster Sintiki, that was fantastic. Well done, well done, well done. Amazing job. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for participating, for asking your questions and making the meeting lively. It didn't look like a Monday evening because you all participated and made the time worthwhile. And with that said, I want to wish you a restful evening. Over to you, Toastmaster Ikrama. I hope he's still here. Oh, wow. I think he's out of the room again. Okay. My division director, E, I don't know if DDE is here. Oh, wow. All right. In the absence of that, distinguished Toastmaster Edith, any last words for us before we call it a day?
My dear Deji, Mary, Agonika.
Merci.
It is finished.
All right. Thank you very
Okay.
much, distinguished Toastmaster Edith.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please unmute yourselves. Open your cameras and say hello to each other as we take a bow and good night.
Good night.
Good evening, everyone, and enjoy
Good
the rest
night,
of
everyone. Thank you.
Good night,
Enjoy the
everyone.
session. Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good evening, everyone. I
Thank
really
you
enjoyed
for
the
the
session.
beautiful
Good
session.
evening, Nancy.
Thank you.
Bye, Mary.
Thank you. Bye. DTM Zalia, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
My PQD. Oh, DTM Nicole. Our PQD was in the room.
Thank you, my Didi. Congratulations
Apologies.
for the
I didn't
fantastic
see you
session.
early. Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. My brother Didi, Division D. DTM Abubakar Gimba. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Well done, Toastmaster Iranade. Amazing job, as always.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.